When we began going through some of the steps, he dropped me.
Let me just ask you this. Let me cut through the chase. Did you drop her?
She did fall. Yes, she did. She lost.
She hit the floor?
As she was going, what?
She hit the floor?
She hit the floor. She hit her lower back. Yes, ma'am. If you could support your own weight, you wouldn't have gotten
I'm
hurt.
talking.
Hey, I'm asking the questions. Y'all talk to me.
If the plaintiff could...
You talking about BS, you going to hell. Straight. You're going to burn up in hell. You're a two-faced liar. And you will be casting this judgment for the people, by the people, by judgment.
Well, ho, ho.
Excuse me, sir. Stop hoeing, please. This is not a ho-ho situation.
What you got down there? You've been shaking it all night long.
The plaintiff is suing her former dance instructor for dropping her during a salsa move.
I'm here at Cajun Court TV. I am suing the dance instructor for dropping me doing a salsa move.
She wants Justice Jackie to award her money related to hospital and doctor bills.
I contacted him on Facebook, and the profile picture was not even him.
The defendant believes he was wrongfully blamed for dropping the plaintiff.
I'm here today as the defendant, hopefully getting out of a lawsuit in which I was wrongfully blamed for a drop during a dance incident.
He believes he lost a lot of clients for the plaintiff's tirade against his business.
I'm also countersuing, hopefully regain some of the money that I lost from loss of promotion and loss of clientele.
Cajun Court is now in session. There'll be no chewing, no talking, no cell phones. The Honorable Justice Jackie is presiding. All the litigants have been sworn in. This is case 413, Dancing Machine.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Plaintiff, you here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
You have a complaint against a dance instructor.
I most certainly do, Your Honor.
Okay. And you want me to decide your fate in terms of the money? You want $6,000 from it.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what's going on.
In short, a little background information. About 9 months ago, I was successfully delivered in a divorce, thank goodness. And 3 months later, I decided to take up dancing, something that I used to do professionally years ago. So I wanted to get back out there because I had begun dating, and I wanted to get back in shape. I asked around about a couple of different studios, and I was directed to a particular studio who had a Facebook page.
Okay.
I checked it out. There were only like 2 negatives out of 10 different reviews. So I'm thinking, 80%, that's pretty good. And I was also thinking that maybe he had integrity because he did not remove those negative reviews. So I figured full disclosure from someone.
Okay.
So that made me want to go ahead and go with him. It looked like he was muscular, in shape, and probably
This gentleman right here?
That's not the picture that I saw,
Yes,
ma'am.
this gentleman right here.
Okay.
This is a little twig. That's not what I saw.
Okay. So you're thinking maybe fabricated?
Maybe it was just advertisements that, I don't know. I try to give him credit.
Okay.
So I spoke with him over the phone, and he told me that how much everything would cost, and that we could begin lessons, I think it was the next Tuesday. What he did not tell me, Your Honor, and it was really bad, was that we would have an audience.
An audience?
An audience, yes,
Okay.
ma'am. And so there were 3 other individuals there. And it's still a little upsetting to me, so you could probably hear that in my voice because...
I can't tell, but go ahead.
Actually, when we began going through some of the steps, he dropped me. Sometimes all the pain is not just physical. When I was on the floor in pain when they had to call the ambulance, what was really bad was the 3 horrible words he said to me that I can't seem to get out of my head. And
they were?
You're too fat.
This dance instructor is accused of dropping his client? Let's hear what happens next on Cajun Court TV. We're back as we learn more about this failed salsa class.
And I was wondering whether or not he would be able to lift me because I'm a little bit thicker than him. But he said that he's been doing this for, I think, 20 years, and he's lifted people that were much larger than myself.
Now, you got him off of Facebook?
Yes, ma'am. I've seen other businesses there, and because he left the reviews, I thought that was a credible way for people to know that he's not trying to hide anything. But again, when I compared him to the others, I saw the negatives and the positives.
Okay.
And that's what made me think that perhaps he was a truthful individual at the time.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you all sign some type of contract? Or?
No, I asked him about that, and he said that we would sign that later, but I have not seen anything.
What about any license? Do you have to have a license to do this?
And I should have checked into that. All I did was look at the Facebook page, I looked at the reviews, and because I was given a referral to check them out, I just moved forward with that. I was just really excited.
I don't mean to cut you off, but how much
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
have to pay for these lessons?
It was $100 per lesson,
Okay.
and we were scheduled to have 5.
5 lessons?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're saying that he dropped you
Yes, ma'am.
and you ended up going to the doctor?
Well, actually, yes, ma'am. I had to. They had to call the ambulance, and so that's why the bill is so high.
Okay.
And
in your complaint, you said $4,800?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me about those bills.
Okay,
The
for
injuries. I'm sorry.
well, I actually have. Can he bring that to you, Your Honor?
He got it. He know what to do.
Okay.
Okay.
So everything is itemized on that.
Okay.
So I'm not actually really asking for anything else other than just the bills, so I could just move forward from
Okay.
this.
The medical bills. What about that $500 for those lessons?
Ma'am?
Did you give him $500?
No,
or was
I
it, or was
wasn't.
it
You know,
$100 per lesson?
well, because I had a little dialogue with him, he said emphatically he wasn't going to do that at all. And would I like my monies back? Yes, ma'am, I would. But at this point, because I want to move forward with my life, I will just take the bills.
Okay, but let me understand. When did you compensate him? Was it before you got started at $500? Was it before you got started, or were you paying $100 per dance lesson?
Per dance lesson?
Okay, so you all didn't have a written contract?
No, ma'am.
How are you doing now? Have you recovered from
I'm
your
feeling
injuries?
better. You know, sometimes all the pain is not just physical. When I was on the floor in pain when they had to call the ambulance, what was really bad was the 3 horrible words he said to me that I can't seem to get out of my head. And
They were?
you're too fat. So
I
that's the
never said
reason that he gave for
I
dropping
absolutely
me.
never said that.
Just saying that that he will hurt you, I'm going by personal experience, not hearsay.
If you could support your own weight,
Excuse
you wouldn't
me,
have
I'm
gotten hurt.
talking.
Hey, I'm asking the questions. Y'all talk to me.
This case of the dance instructor and student is getting spicier by the minute. More to come. Let's hear from this dance instructor as the mediation continues.
I've dealt with the plaintiff. I've heard what she had to say. Now, your turn.
Okay, I met the young lady here back in March. She approached me through my Facebook page, wanted to set up some salsa lessons, mentioned that she wanted them at an advanced level.
Okay, but before you go any further, I just want to know. Now, she said it was a buff man on that page. Is that you?
Yes, it is my Facebook profile picture on that page.
Okay, but that profile picture, is that you? Did you lose
That is
weight or
me,
something?
yes.
You lost weight or how? She's
No, it's the same profile picture, ma'am.
okay. So she sounded like you was a big, strong, healthy man.
Yeah, I mean,
So
a
is
lot
that
of strength.
fake? Is that fake?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay.
It's all
proceed.
muscle.
Okay.
All muscle.
Okay. So
Look like a
and
crackhead.
it sounds like maybe some injections from time to time.
Nope, never.
Okay.
So to that end, we met. We talked a couple times on the phone. And she mentioned she wanted advanced lessons. Fine. So we met that following Tuesday, as the plaintiff said, at the club. And I had a couple people there. Just they were not friends of mine. They were there. We did warm up. I always insist on warming up and stretching our muscles.
So why didn't you warm up?
We did.
Warm up. Oh, you did? You
We did.
I'm
We
sorry.
did
Okay.
warm up. I never danced just because
Okay.
I've seen too many torn ligaments and
Yeah.
blown knees and blown ankles over the years. I always insist on warming up. So to that end, I started leading her through a sequence. And when I went for the lift, the correct move in our goal level of salsa is to counterbalance your weight. At the beginner level, you support the follow. But at the advanced level, you expect your follow to support their own body weight. So when she
Okay,
started
she
to
know
buckle,
that? Do you train them to do that?
yes, that is
Okay.
like, international standard.
Okay, but let me just ask you this. Let me cut through the chase. Did
Sure.
you drop her?
She
Did
did
you
fall.
drop her?
Yes, she did. She lost.
She hit the
as
floor?
she was going. What? She hit the floor. She hit her lower back. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me this. Do you have any license?
And for a freelance instructor, you do not need a license or certification.
Do you have a contract that you signed with your?
It was all just a verbal agreement, ma'am.
Okay. What about insurance?
Again, freelance instructors. I mean, never been asked to have insurance. I mean, I've been dancing for 20
Have you
years.
dropped anybody before?
I've never been dancing with someone who doesn't know what they're doing. I would have dummied down the lesson if she would have told me that she hadn't known what she was doing.
But I mean, as a freelancer person, you want to know who you're involved with, right?
I asked her point blank, have you danced? She had claimed to have previous salsa experience. So therefore, I started my lesson at a higher level than I would someone who had no previous dance experience.
Oh. So wouldn't it be helpful just to get a really good background information and about this woman before you start teaching her lessons?
I was taking her out of work, Your Honor. She said she had previous dance experience. She looked relatively fit. I mean, I took her at her word.
Tell me about your counter suit.
Since she's posted some really derogatory comments, it's really just not borderline cruel, like completely just mean.
Crazy Facebook post by the plaintiff? Do you think she was right? Let us know on our Facebook page right now. So the plaintiff is defaming the defendant's business? Will Justice Jackie shut it down?
Borderline cruel, like completely just mean.
Is that on the
I've
internet,
lost some
Facebook,
clients.
just social
Yes,
media?
I actually have these posts if you'd like to.
Me.
Thank you very much.
Boy, this post, I tell you, we've had some posts today, huh?
I know, social media's pain.
Yeah. Yeah, and we all use it, but you have to take responsibility with it.
So you can see there she's
Did you
clearly.
post this stuff, ma'am?
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Did you post that?
I don't know what you're
Mr.
looking
Bailey, let her look at this.
I
Yeah,
have to
that-
look at it and see.
I was just like, wow, she's using some really strong language. And since then, I've had a couple clients who have seen that Facebook page and since forth discontinued their business with me.
Wow. Okay.
Out of these 5, I absolutely did 4 of them, for sure, because they're truthful. And the reason that I did is because when I first
You
initially
didn't have to be so hard.
just saying that that he will hurt you, I'm going by personal experience, not hearsay.
If you could support your own weight, you
excuse
wouldn't
me,
have gotten
I'm
hurt.
talking.
Hey, I'm asking the questions. Y'all talk to me.
If the plaintiff could.
I think I was letting her speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The only reason that I felt as though I could do that is because initially when I contacted him and we decided to move forward, he did put on his Facebook page that I was his student. So to me, that's a door opener for me to be able to also put information on there. And so
He
if
just
the
said
class
you
was
his student,
unsatisfactory,
but he didn't talk bad about you, did he?
well, all he did was introduce and say that he was happy. And so to me, that's opening the door for me to say if I'm happy or not.
You never would have fallen.
I would have landed properly.
Enough of that. I tell you what. Now, I don't want to pay $100 for a dance lesson, but I want to see what you can do.
Well, come on, let's do it.
Justice Jackie dancing in the courtroom? Oh my! The defendant is something else. Stay tuned. We're back in this dance room, I mean courtroom, as court is now in session.
Now, I don't want to pay $100 for a dance lesson, but I want to see what you can do.
Well, come on, let's do it.
Oh, I'm
Don't
not
break a
afraid.
bone.
Let me see this. Now, I'm not going to fall, am I?
No, ma'am. You are perfectly safe. I've done this with people twice your size, literally. Your
Just be
Honor.
careful.
You're perfectly safe.
He doesn't have insurance.
You need to learn how to dance.
I know how to, you know what? I was born with rhythm. You still don't have it.
Tell that to
okay.
three national
okay.
titles.
Okay. I tell you what, I'm about to find out.
May I? All right. So I'm going to do, come in a little closer. I'm going to rock you forward. I'm going to step forward on my left. You're going to rock back on your right. For
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, I walk back on my
You're going to
right.
step forward on your left. 5, 6, 7. I'm
Okay.
going to turn you out.
Okay.
I'm going to push you out with my palm. I'm going to bring you in. Turn.
Oh, I didn't fall. Okay.
You didn't fall.
I didn't fall. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I think my back will be hurting tonight. All right. Well, Plankton, do you have anything else you want to add?
Other than the fact, like I said, and I didn't finish saying it, if he hadn't faltered in holding me, I could have landed properly. But because of that, dance, there is timing. And if you're not used to rhythm, you're not used to timing, and if you falter in a move, you can cause the other person
But you
to have an
you
accident.
had danced before, is that correct?
Absolutely, I have.
Okay.
And so, with that being said, if I was a poor dancer and you are as professional as you claim to be, you would have said something.
Again, when we warmed up, I walked you
You
through a
would have said something because warming up,
I walked you
I
through a
tell you
basic,
what,
and you
I
followed
think I
that.
can resolve this. I think I can handle this. I just want to admonish you all a little bit. Now, Plaintiff, one of the things that people do, and you're not the first, is to go on Facebook. We want something. And the first thing we do is, oh, let me try Facebook. There's so much information. There's good information, there's bad information, and we have to decipher through this information and see what's good for us. We don't want to waste our money, but I think in this particular situation, I know you just got a divorce and you sounds like you're happy to be divorced.
Yes.
You trying to get those dance lessons so you can get out there, and I don't know if you're trying to find
Barely got our
somebody else
groove
and
back.
just have the fun, but we have to be cautious in our actions and what we do. Social media to me is not necessarily a good way to find business. However, it's a start, but you have to look at your references. You have to look at people's backgrounds, and I would want to know if he dropped anybody else before. Now, I tell you what, I'm not suing, but my back hurt.
Yeah.
And so one of the things, sir, that you have to do to protect yourself as a business person, I know you said freelance, but it's to make sure you have a contract. Maybe there's a waiver you should have. Like if someone
Yes, Your Honor.
does hurt themselves and they waive in the rights. I'm not telling you, but I'm telling to do that. But I think you need to rethink your position with your business, whether or not your license and insurance that will cover things like this. Now, I didn't see anything. You haven't given me anything that shows you actually lost $2,500. Do you have any evidence to that?
Unfortunately, I do
Prevail
not.
if
There's just
there's
people
nothing. I
that
need
decide
something
not to use my.
to show me that you've lost $2,500. She's got a $4,800 bill on a date that you've alleged. This is very difficult in that I have to make a decision. Now, I want to be fair with both of you all. I thought it was interesting that you want to do dance out of all the things that you could do. And I know that at 40, you mentioned that you were 40, that our bodies don't heal like,
They used to.
if we were, young. But also, I think when you saw the defendant, and I'm looking at him now, he looked like olive oil with some spinach. He needs to eat some spinach. And so that would have been a red flag in my mind to say, well, maybe, I don't know if he can hold me. But, I mean, I'd have to give him the benefit of the doubt. I've gotten pretty fat myself, and he held me up, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to be fair, and so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cast a judgment where you all split that $4,800, and that way you're not paying the total bills and plaintiff, you do get something. And I'm going to adjourn court for the day.
Thank you, Your Honor.